Alright everybody, I'm back here with part 2 of the AR-15 disassembly and reassembly videos. We are now on the reassembly part of the AR-15. As you can see, I have everything, all the parts, the charging handle, all the pins, the firing pin, the bolt cam pin, the bolt, and the bolt carrier is all disassembled. First things first, we'll start with the lower receiver, and we will put the buffer and the buffer spring back in. All you need to do there, slide spring right back down in where it came out of. Fairly simple. Make sure it stays in there. You're golden. That's all we really need to do with the lower receiver. Other than when we push the pins back in, I cleaned everything out. I usually don't take apart the trigger assembly. I do every once in a while, but not for this video. Next, we need to take the bolt. I'm not exactly sure what. I do believe this is the ejector. Not 100% sure. But we need to put that back on the bolt. It does have a spring, as you can see, with the little O-ring around it. Make sure that's still on there. You just set it in place. There'd be a little pin that goes in there, but you're gonna have to line up the holes, put pressure on it, and push the pin in. Fairly simple, nothing too difficult. That is in, ready to go. The bolt's ready to go. Next thing we're going to do, take the bolt carrier and the bolt. We're going to put it in the end where it came out of. As you can see, the top hole right in here, right through there. You're going to line up the holes, make sure it goes in. Then we're going to take the bolt cam pin. You're going to push it right down in through this hole, just like so. Make sure it lines up. It's going to sit. First of all, it'll sit like that. Next thing you do is give it a 90-degree turn. That way it sits in there. Excuse me. Next thing you need to do, take the firing pin. It's obviously going to go in this way. It's the only way it can go in. Take the bolt pin, or the bolt carrier. It's going to slide in right down through here. You just set it in there and it'll drop right in. Take the firing pin. I call it the retainer, the firing pin retainer key. Looks like a cotter pin. I assure you it's not. It's hardened stainless steel. You just push it in the hole. Right there. Right, same place you got it out of. Make sure it don't fall out. Make sure the bolt don't fall out. Perfect. Next thing you want to do, make sure this moves back and forth. It does. That's good. Now, to reassemble it, you take the upper receiver. As you can see, there's nothing in there. You can take the charging handle first. You slide it through the back of the upper receiver. You can see there's a little groove in there. It's got to go down in the groove. So, first thing, you just give it a little angle here like that, and it'll slide in and sit there. Just like so. Just got to get it in there. Not that hard. Okay, next thing you're going to want to do, you're going to take the, excuse me once again, you're going to take the bolt carrier. As you can see right now, the bolt is pressed in, out, in. You're going to put it in this way. The bolt key is going to sit in the groove of the charging handle, and you slide it in. I'm going to show you something though, that'll, if you don't know it, it can make it frustrating. You think you're doing something wrong. Slide it in. It won't go in, right? The bolt carrier won't slide in. That is because the bolt is pushed in. It needs to be pulled out for this step. Once it's pulled out, slides right in place. Upper receiver is done. Next thing you need to do, fairly simple, take the upper, lower receiver, we're going to line up the pins. Put the front one in first. As you can see, it is now connected in the front. Push it down. Push the rear pin in. It's fully assembled. Now, make sure your charging handle works. Pull it back. Works. Bolt works. Make sure your forward assist works. That works, obviously. Nothing wrong with it. I like to dry fire it. Make sure the firing pin still works. Works. Pull it back once again. Charge it. Put it on safe. Won't work. Gun's working properly. From there, that's pretty much all you got. Unless you decided to take down the handle or the excuse me, I'm having a little brain fart here. The front grips up here. If you took them down, all you did was pull down on this delta ring. They just pop right off. And then to put them back on, pull down the delta ring, slide them in place. Sometimes it's a pain. They are tight. That's pretty much it. Everything seems to work properly. Obviously, this is just a collapsible stock. We didn't do nothing with that, so you better hope that works properly, otherwise you might have problems. From there, other than that, that is full disassemble and reassemble of an AR-15. Thank you for watching. Please rate, subscribe, and comment.